Too busy fighting alligators to drain the swamp. It's a metaphor that perfectly captures how we often get trapped in our daily struggles. We are so caught up in managing immediate crises that we must remember to address the more significant underlying issues. We're constantly fending off problems, but are we really making progress? Or are we just stuck in a cycle of firefighting, never fixing the root cause? This idea resonates deeply across all aspects of life: work, relationships, and personal growth. We often mistake activity for productivity, believing that if we're busy dealing with issues, we're moving forward. But the truth is, if we tackle the underlying problems, we'll avoid repeating the same obstacles. At work, the trap is especially easy to fall into. I've seen it time and again. Managers who spend their days putting out fires, jumping from one urgent task to the next. A client complaint, a missed deadline, a team conflict. Each issue feels critical and demands immediate attention. But the bigger picture gets lost in the rush to solve these problems. The same issues keep reappearing because the underlying causes are never addressed. It's a vicious cycle. The more you focus on the immediate problems, the less time you have to step back and think strategically. Winston Churchill once said, "However beautiful the strategy, you should occasionally look at the results." If you're constantly fighting alligators, you're not draining the swamp. And if you're not draining the swamp, those alligators will keep coming. I've been there, spending so much time and energy on the urgent that I had no bandwidth left for the important. It feels productive, but over time, you realize you're just treading water. Sometimes it's personal. This pattern isn't confined to the workplace. It's just as prevalent in our personal lives. We juggle responsibilities: work, family, health, social obligations, and each demands our attention. But we often prioritize what's urgent over what's truly important. For years, I was constantly stressed about my health. I knew I needed to eat better, exercise more, and get more sleep. But I kept telling myself, I'll get to it once I handle this deadline, this project, this next big thing. The problem was that there was always another thing. The alligators, stress, fatigue, poor health, kept snapping at my heels, but I never drained the swamp of unhealthy habits that were causing the stress in the first place. It's the same with relationships. We might focus on resolving daily arguments, thinking we're improving our relationship, but we're not really making progress if we're not addressing the deeper issues: poor communication, unmet needs, unspoken expectations. We're just putting a bandage on a wound that keeps reopening. So, how do you shift your focus from fighting alligators to draining the swamp? Here's what I've found helpful. Identify the swamp. What's the root cause of the recurring problems? In work, it might be inefficient processes or poor communication. In personal life, it could be unhealthy habits or unresolved emotions. It would be best if you got on what's really holding you back. Prioritize the important over the urgent. This is tough, but it's crucial. You need to make time for the things that will have a long-term impact, even if they're not screaming for your attention right now. Build reflection into your routine. Regular reflection is critical to focusing on the right things. Setting aside weekly time to review my goals and progress helps keep me on track. It's about making sure you're not just busy, but effective. Delegate or eliminate. Not every alligator needs to be fought. Some can be delegated, others can be ignored. The more you can offload or eliminate, the more energy you have to focus on the swamp. As Stephen Covey put it, the main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing. Life will always present us with alligators, those urgent, pressing challenges that demand immediate attention. But if we spend all our time fighting them, we risk staying stuck in the swamp, never addressing the deeper issues that keep us there. The next time you're overwhelmed by the daily battles, ask yourself, am I fighting alligators or draining the swamp? By shifting your focus to the bigger picture, you can create space for real progress. It requires discipline, reflection, and sometimes the courage to let go of the immediate in favor of the important. But in doing so, you move beyond mere survival. You start to thrive.